What's going on, basketball fans? My name is Josh and I am back with another video. Yesterday it was reported that Jimmy Butler has requested a trade from the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now, to be completely honest, I was not expecting this. We all knew that Jimmy Butler had some beef with either Karl-Anthony Towns, Tom Thibodeau, or some of the other younger players, but I never thought it was going to reach a point where Jimmy Butler, who sacrificed so much for that team this season, wants to be traded. But just like that, opinions and desires can change, and it seems like Jimmy Butler is going to be traded in the next couple of weeks. So in this video, we're going to take a look at some possible NBA teams that Jimmy could be traded to, and just talk about my thoughts on the whole situation. But before I get into it, I want you guys to go over and check out my brand new Instagram page at JoshNader711. I did a face reveal over there, so make sure you guys go check it out. I'm also going to follow some of you guys back, so go over there, show me some love, and I'll show some back. Now, the craziest part about this whole Jimmy Butler situation is that it was reported that he does not want to go to training camp. Now, for those that don't know, the NBA season is about 3 or 4 weeks away, which means training camp is about a week or two away, and media day is next Monday. We know for a fact that Tom Thibodeau is going to have a hard time addressing the media about this whole situation. So for Minnesota, they have two options. Either they can iron out the situation, which probably isn't going to happen, or they can trade Jimmy Butler. But if they trade Jimmy Butler, that deal has to be done before the start of the season. Now, they are in a huge predicament right now because no matter what they do, they're probably going to be at a loss. If you keep Jimmy, you're going to have locker room issues. And if you trade Jimmy, you're probably not going to get an all-star back in return. Now, the first thing that came to my mind when it was reported that Jimmy Butler wants to be traded was the possibility of him teaming up with LeBron in LA. And as a LeBron fan, I really wanted to see that happen, but it just doesn't seem feasible. The Lakers, for one, don't have the cap space to trade for Jimmy Butler. Also, I doubt they're going to want to part with some of their young assets, like Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, Kyle Kuzma, and Josh Hart. Also, it was reported that Jimmy Butler doesn't want to play with LeBron James, which doesn't make any sense to me. I'm going to talk about this in another video, but if you want to win a championship, don't you want to play with the best player on the planet? It's just crazy, but it seems like Butler just does not want to play with the Lakers. Another team that he's interested in, though, are the LA Clippers. Now, the Clippers for sure have a package to get Jimmy Butler. They have big contracts, they have young players, and they have draft picks, and it's definitely a likely possibility. A potential trade looks like Tobias Harris, Wesley Johnson, maybe Patrick Beverly, and a first-round pick for Jimmy Butler. Something like that could definitely be a possibility. Some other teams that Butler is interested in include the Brooklyn Nets and the New York Knicks. And just like the Clippers, both of those teams can offer big packages to the Minnesota Timberwolves. The only downside is you're not going to get an equal return back for Jimmy Butler. But to recap, the three teams that Butler are interested in are the Clippers, the Nets, and the Knicks. Also, going to LA is definitely not a possibility. But two more teams that I was definitely considering and thinking about with this whole situation are the Boston Celtics and the Philadelphia 76ers. For the last couple of years, it seems like every time there's a superstar on the market, the Celtics are always super involved. They were in the sweepstakes for Paul George, for Jimmy Butler the first time he was traded. There were some talks with DeMarcus Cousins, Anthony Davis, just so many all-stars, because Boston has the assets, the picks, and the players to literally acquire any person in this league. Now, the Celtics, if they are really interested, can put together a package to acquire Jimmy Butler. Probably gonna have to give up maybe Jaylen Brown, maybe Gordon Hayward, maybe some of your younger players like Terry Rozier or Marcus Smart, and definitely a draft pick or two. But the positive for Boston acquiring Jimmy Butler is you would team up Jimmy Butler with Kyrie Irving, two guys who really want to play together. And when it comes to Kyrie Irving, we've heard rumors that he doesn't want to be in Boston past this year. He wants to team up with Jimmy Butler. And I think if you bring Jimmy Butler in, that'll probably keep Kyrie in a Boston uniform for that much longer. The only thing is, does Boston want to tear up their young core to acquire a almost 30-year-old star who has proven that he can't make up his mind? He wasn't happy in Chicago, he wasn't happy in Minnesota, and who knows if he'll be happy in Boston. And also, when it comes to trading for superstars, it feels like Danny Ainge is real stingy, which he should be, obviously, because they've killed it in the draft and they have a very talented young roster. Now, the other team that can definitely be in the sweepstakes are the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, the Sixers can put together a pretty solid package for Jimmy Butler, a package that doesn't include Ben Simmons or Joel Embiid. I've been considering a trade that includes Dario Saric and probably Markelle Fultz, and then whatever contracts you need to match that up in return for Jimmy Butler. That would create a big three in Philly of Ben Simmons, Jimmy Butler, and Joel Embiid. And that team, without question, is competing for an Eastern Conference title. There's no question about that. But Jimmy Butler most likely is going to be traded before the start of the NBA season, and where he might go, we honestly have no idea. I wouldn't be surprised if they ship him off to a team like Charlotte or a team like Brooklyn maybe. But in the situation, Minnesota has a lot of control of Jimmy Butler's future because Butler really has no say in what happens. He wants to be traded, and who knows where he might go. We saw Kawhi Leonard give the Spurs a list of teams. We saw Kyrie Irving give the Cavs a list of teams. But both guys were traded to destinations they weren't really hoping for. And the same is probably going to happen with Jimmy Butler. So we'll see what happens. So I want you guys to let me know in the comment section down below, where do you think Jimmy Butler is going to be traded this offseason? Videos are going to start to ramp up again because finally there's stuff to talk about. And I have a lot of cool things planned, so make sure you guys stay tuned. But yeah, hit me up on Instagram, drop a follow. I'll follow some of you guys back. Also drop a like if you guys enjoyed. But that's it for me. Till next time. Peace.
We've been out here chasing paper like a newsprint. Don't you come around my section, cause we really do this. No more phony people in my circle, cause we moved it. Been on other levels, focused on creating movies. Yeah, we on your head like a dead man. I've been